Okay, last video here. Let's go ahead and go with the last 4 videos. So Robert, quick time. Okay, so let's scrub around through here, watch it. Okay, so the interesting thing is these first few poses are looking really good. Like that looks really good. And then from here on out, it feels like it gets a little simple. Like the poses are hitting all at the same time. They're not very dynamic poses. He's not even got a contact here. He just starts squashing as he's coming forward. So yeah, you need a contact pose there. He stands back up. Again, kind of not very interesting poses. I'm getting the IK hand thing where the hands are sticking in space here. So it kind of hesitates there. So jumps. So like this is, like the feet just kind of drift over there. So I think that these first ones again, like those are feeling really good. So I don't know necessarily what happens here and why this gets to feeling very stiff. And my my guess is maybe maybe you ran out of time or something and just didn't get time to polish this in. But this really needs a lot of work, right? Like just to get the poses, like just sort of this motion, thinking in terms of arcs. But like this is the impression that I get is like from you have this key pose, you have this key pose, and they just kind of drift between those two. Like there's no real anything that happens in between there. And then kind of the same here with this. You go from this to this to this, and those just feel like key poses that are just drifting between each other. So the biggest thing here is it just needs more refinement overall. To kind of address that. I think cleaning up the poses, really coming up with some interesting poses, and then really just working on, getting these breakdowns and these other key poses and your arcs and and then start offsetting stuff. So this one just keep working on it. Okay, Ali. Okay, this one's really good. You got some really good results on this. I think that we can polish it up just a little bit. I think you have a few spots where the poses are kind of hitting together. So let's see, like that, everything kind of hits together and then changes directions. So I think just going in there and making sure stuff kind of overlaps will be helpful. And then just some very minor arc tweaks, really. So not even arcs of the jumps, but stuff like, let's watch how this. So let's look at the head. The head sort of hits a wall and then goes down. And so when I say really minor arc tweaks, if we watch this motion, let's just look at the top of the head here. Okay, what the top of the head is doing is it's going up to here and then straight down. Okay, and so instead, what the head could do is sort of like that. And so it literally is, I know it seems crazy that we would polish this much, but we would. That you just really need to go in here and look at all these different parts of the body and just kind of find some key points. Find the tip of the nose, the tips of the fingers, and then just kind of think in terms of the arcs. Now we can do an editable motion trail for all of these. We just have to put us a locator in there or find a bone if you want to unhide the bones and do a editable motion trail on that bone, and it will draw you your arcs all over the place like that. And so what you'll see on some of those arcs is you'll see stuff like it's moving along and then you get that in there and you don't really want that, or it's moving along and then it just changes directions like that. And so those types of things you just need to kind of massage out of there to where it ends up getting a little bit more like that. you know, and so really those little bitty tiny arcs and everything is what makes stuff feel like the energy is sort of transferring along the object. Um, Otherwise, this is actually looking really good. So it just needs maybe a little bit more details in the curves, and you have a demo reel piece here. So great work there, Spencer. Okay, switch this one. Okay, this one feels like it still needs some more cleanup just overall. You got some good poses in here. I think your camera is working against you here. So the fact that the camera stops so dead kind of makes the character feel like it's stopping dead. So I'd be easier on this camera movement here. Like this, how this kind of eases past it feels a little bit better. And so let's watch through here again. I think you got some pretty good poses. So now that you've done the walk cycle, or you know, now you're getting through the walk cycle, stuff like this walk here feels a little stiff. Like that step that he takes feels a little stiff, and so I think that we can kind of push that up a little bit, and you get a little bit here in this photo somewhere here too. There, like that, like the weight is just, you know, feeling like it needs to be over the hips on this side a little bit more, and just kind of shifting that. Like I just don't feel the weight shifts in there very much. So kind of play around with that a little bit. But you have some strong poses again. You're not getting as much twinning. You're getting some pretty nice asymmetry, and then you try a pretty complex thing here. And I think it's working pretty well. I think that the feet hit it pretty much the same time. No, they don't. You got some offset there, so that's good. I think that maybe this foot needs to be further forward when it hits, because either that or the hips need to be further back, because otherwise I feel like that he would almost fall over. So like what you want is it to feel like, and maybe have the hips hit just a little bit later. I don't know. There's something in the way that this lands that feels weird to me. And so I can kind of tweak around on that with you if you want to kind of get that working better. But you get some really good poses. So like this is a good pose. This is a great pose. I like this stuff here. You get some of the knees twisting up there, but that's just sort of polishing it. When he pushes off here, I would consider, you know, if you can get the hips angled like that a little bit more or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're making a good decision here. So yeah, overall, there's just a little bit more cleanup on it, and hopefully a couple of those notes will help you get to there. If you want to go through this one a little bit more closely, like frame by frame, let me know, and we'll kind of work with it. Okay, Stephanie. So I think your poses are actually really good in this, and you're really getting the right like weight to it. So here's some stuff here. Like look at this. This is sort of I think we can offset some stuff and really help here. So we get this where the character's feet are like this, right? And then the character's weight is all the way down, and that's the same point that the character's feet are all the way down. So I feel like the character's feet could hit and then just pop down over like 1 or 2 frames really quickly, and then the weight of the body follows after it. Okay, so you get a little bit more of that there, but yeah, still just kind of offsetting just a little bit. And so stuff like the elbows and the hips hit there at the same time and then come up. And so we kind of get that here with this, everything kind of hitting and changing directions at the same time. Now you have the added benefit that your poses are actually pretty good overall. So I think that we can kind of work with that, and this is not very much work to get this into a really nice piece. The only other thing I would say is a lot of this space over here just kind of wasted. So like maybe think of reframing it, maybe something more like, I don't know, just to kind of look at state a little bit. Okay. Oh, I have no idea what just happened, but oh, I know what just happened. That's the other videos getting done, being compressed. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I think that's the last video. Let me double check. I'm sure I don't leave anybody hanging. Project 2, we're looking good. Okay, cool. Let me know if you have any questions, and we will. What I'll probably be doing is taking some of these apart and working on them in separate videos or in class over the next few days. So, talk to you soon. Bye.